So successful stove test here at the Off-Grid Tiny House. I put the propane tank in the far room just to be safe, made sure it's off. Batteries are charging up awesome today because it's literally full sunshine but still hella cold out. My dad just called, he was just checking in on me, how I'm doing, and so on and so forth. Now, one thing I want to discuss, we got some other projects coming up here, guys. So you guys remember I have my my fan set up here, and that will be going into that guy probably in the spring. Now, why wait till the spring? Well, one, I don't need the heat then in case something goes wrong, right? And in the spring I can turn this guy on anyway and to test it, and you know, not a big deal. But in the middle of winter, you don't want to be trying experiments with your heat source, especially if something fails and then you're shafted. So what I plan on doing, guys, and this is a really cool thing that high-tech guy Stu showed me on YouTube, and I'm going to be making it myself shortly. I just picked up the ingredients the other day from the dollar store. So we picked up some a box of cornstarch, a box of baking soda, and about 4 bottles of all-purpose glue. Now, those are the 3 ingredients for what I'm making, and what it is I'm not going to tell you here. It's going to kind of be a spoiler coming up, but here's a little hint. When I remove the back plate to access where the fans are for the propane fireplace here, there was a built-in factory gasket, and they seem to use the crappiest stuff on their gasket material, because when you're going in and out to service fans, the gasket just crumbles after a while, and that's what happened back here. Now, you guys may, if you've been following me for an extended period a long time ago, you guys know I made a little hack in order to fix the crumbly gasket material. You take some high temperature silicone, the red stuff, and you go around the border where the gasket material is. Then you press back on top of the red stuff the gasket material that's fallen apart, and you kind of place it back on top of that red silicone. Now, I haven't seen that, seen if that worked out and held up, but obviously it did, or we'd have CO poisoning going on and stuff in here. But when I do go inside, and I'm going to film all this obviously, guys, when I convert my stove from 5 volt up to 12 volt, so I get a little more blow from the fans, and they're going to be automated at the same time. When we open up that back portion where it's been gasketed, I'll get to see what's crumbled, what if my fix actually worked, you know, and then that's what those 3 ingredients I just told you that I picked up from the dollar store are going to kind of be, we're going to introduce and probably use those as a replacement gasket. Now, most of you are going to be scratching your head saying, what? But I think Stu may know what I'm talking about, what's going to happen with that stuff. And we're going to see if it works as a proper gasket material. And it has a plethora of options, guys. Like if you're building your own wood stove, you know how you got to cover up the welds of your metal box. Normally people stack fire bricks in front of it. Well, you can possibly get away with using this DIY material that I will be making in a separate video, in a future video, and use the high temp silicone on as your glue to the metal surface over your welds, and then you put this stuff over top and it'll act as a glue and hold it there, and that will be kind of your lining for your fireplace box, and that way you can reduce weight. It should be still safe and protect the welds, and it'll cut down on weight, which is huge for fireplaces. This could be a game changer, and you still get all the benefits of having the fire brick, but they don't take up near as much space in your wood stove, and they make it so the heat transfer doesn't happen to destroy the welds of your firebox. So pretty interesting stuff coming, guys, so stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you hit the bell notification button, make sure all those are on. And then if you like my work here, you can help support me on Patreon, which is basically getting me by at this point. So thank you to all my Patreon members that have donated now and in the past, and hopefully I can gain some more momentum that way, so I won't be relying on YouTube as much. And my goal is maybe kind of leapfrogging over to Patreon sometime, as YouTube's policies are going down the crapper. So yeah, that's kind of the goal. So the other thing is, guys, I need funds in order to build a build up the tiny house. I need to build a stand for my new stove here, and at the moment I have zero funds because I haven't worked in 2 to 3 months now, so things are tight. I don't pick up work normally till spring, summer, and then I go all the way till Christmas and rinse and repeat. That's just how my work cycle goes. So unless it's a horrible economy, and then actually I went through that one time. I couldn't find a job. That was when I had the entire summer I didn't work. It was ridiculous. I worked maybe one day, and it had me shell-shocked. That was when Obama was in office and doing wonderfully for everybody. Wonderfully. Yeah, right. Total disaster. So that's why I was like, oh my God, work's non-existent. That's when I first purchased this tiny house, recycled transport trailer, used trailer. Dropped it here. That was the summer I started my build. So that was many moons ago, as you can tell. And I had no budget at that time as well, guys. So yeah, I made it this far. Thankfully, Trump's economy's getting us by for the meantime, and my awesome Patreon members. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to, I think I'm also gonna have to sell a bunch of my stuff off at a garage sale or something, just to make some funds. So I'm gonna have to move this guy out of the way, build a stand. Probably out of, I don't know. If things get as bad as they are, I might have to build it out of pallet wood I get off the side of the road, and just set that bastard on there, and that'll be that. So it is what it is, right? It's doable, but I'm gonna try to make it flush with my wood stove cupboard here. So I'm gonna try to make the burners flush to here. And it's about yay wide, I think, like that out to here. Actually, no, this will be in the way. There's this part here that's still going to be sticking up, so that's not going to work. So the elliptical, I'm going to have to move back over to here. I'm going to have to build a stand up. Boom, stove there, kitchen countertop here, sink here, and wood stove and everything. So yeah, that's gonna work. Now the other thing I want to save up for, guys, other projects and goals for the off-grid tiny house coming up, I want to do a thermal siphon. Now, radiators are extremely hard to come by at a decent price. So I need to find some though, or make some, or if you guys know how to make some DIY radiators that can radiate heat passively for me without electricity, that would be awesome. The goal is to probably use the wood stove as the thermal siphon or the propane stove. And I ordered a whiteboard and I'm waiting for it to come in from Wish. And then I can draw out what I'm kind of thinking about doing, and then you guys in the comment section can help me out. But remember guys, in the comment section now, I have to repeat this all the time, my budget here is crapo, okay? So I cannot just blow thousands of dollars on gear and to make something work, okay? Oh, I'm out of propane. Finally. Holy shit. That's I must be out of propane. Have to be. Yes. So that's the first time on camera that I've ran out of propane. So it got me through, how many years was that, guys? 2 years? With one tank? Maybe? Holy crap. So, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. So let's close this off then. My propane is dead. We'll kick this over to off position. I'm going to keep running the fans, obviously, to do their thing, to get rid of the excess heat. Now I'm totally out of propane. So that means another expense. I need $80 to put in to fill up a tank again, to keep the tiny house nice and toasty. So that's something I got to do too. Now, the only thing, the Cubic Mini, or the Cubic Mini Grizzly stove that I got, it works surprisingly well, but it's still too small for the tiny house, is my issue. So I need a conventional wood stove, and I don't know if that's going to happen or not, because that's a lot of weight and a lot of time. I need to, run new pipes and out the side of the tiny house and all that fun stuff. So it's probably not a good idea, or who knows, right guys? That's what I say, who knows what's gonna happen. Anyways, yeah, so that's some exciting stuff going on. Oh boy, isn't that something? So I didn't get to do anything much other than test out my stove, but luckily, I kind of ran out of propane over here just in time, because it's pretty much springtime now. So this guy, unfortunately, is done for the summer unless I go take that tank over there to get filled up. And I probably will have to. That's for sure. But that lasted a long time, guys. That's the first time I've seen the propane tank, the 100-pounder, pooch out on me. That's crazy. And that happened actually when I was filming, which is even crazier. So that's good to know. But that's it. That means the only heat source as of now is the little wood stove for the off-grid tiny house until I get another tank full of propane, which is doable. $80. It's going to be tough. But I think I'm going to do that in the springtime. And what I may do is fill both tanks up just for the hell of it. So probably about $200 worth of propane. Sit that on the back of the trailer, and then I should be good for like 4 years, maybe, something like that. That's how efficient these stoves are. That's pretty sweet. Now, mind you, I'm pretty smart in using it. I don't leave my pilot light on all the time, guys, because what does that do? Burns up your fuel. Even the little bitty tiny pilot light does burn up your fuel. So I leave mine off quite a bit. So if you do that, you can go a long time on a tank of propane. You can't just be lazy and leave the pilot light on all the time unless you're sleeping. That's like the only time I leave the pilot light on, guys, is when I'm in bed, and then I let the remote, which is the thermostat, cycle the unit on and off where it needs to be. So that's not too shabby if you think about it. Not too shabby at all. And my camera's about to die here, so I think I'm out of here. Lithium's charged up and happy. These guys are charging up and being happy, so that's all good. And I'm gonna get out of here. It's about noon hour. I'm gonna grab me something to eat. Gotta keep on the diet, so I'm gonna grab a some veggies, just something healthy, because that's about it for me. And then I've been eating my homemade granola bars that I've been making. Sweet, they are good. Very little sugar in them whatsoever, and I controlled everything that went into making them, which is sweet. I like that. So other than that, the tiny house, heat-wise, is now pooched. So it's kind of a good thing we started talking about replacing the fans, because now I can get into doing that, even though, you know, because now that the propane is totally used up, I can't really use that beast anymore until I, you know, top up again. So that means I can get to, I'm gonna get making that other video of that material, and that's the gasket material that I'm telling you guys about, and I'm gonna share that for everybody. Hopefully, if you've never heard of it and think it's interesting, I really think it's interesting, because the ingredients are dirt cheap and it has amazing properties. So I'm gonna try it out, see if it's baloney or not, and if it isn't, then it's gonna be a game changer for a whole lot of stuff, including wood stoves. Hey, just think of the possibilities, guys. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Rob out.